You just had some news a few days ago, right, where you've launched subscription channels on Vimeo, so paid subscriptions, right? You're not just going to subscribe, but you're actually going to have to pay for this content. So how big of a deal is this?
Well, that's right, Betty. We just launched a new extension of our Vimeo on-demand platform, which allows now any creator to launch a subscription series of their choice. So they can bundle a set of videos and actually set a recurring monthly price for those videos. And it's just one more way now for them to sell using Vimeo, where Vimeo On Demand has now allowed sellers to sell for a little over 2 years. And we've seen really great traction with our transactional service, which we initially launched, where creators can sell or rent content a la carte. And so we're very excited to be adding subscriptions to the mix, where they can now charge a recurring monthly fee for their content and make it available anywhere in the world.
What's the price point?
So the price point is really at the discretion of the creator or the video owner. And I think that's one of the exciting things about the platform, is it really puts that power and control directly in their hands. And so we're seeing in our transactional system, which is much more developed, for instance, we have price points all across the board, from single dollars for individual pieces of content up to tens, even hundreds of dollars for certain series. We even have some content that creators are selling for over $1,000 for collections, for instance, of very specific instructional content. And so it's very early for subscriptions, but we do expect that same range of possibilities based on what the content is, how large the audience is, how specific that content is.
Well, and you did a deal with Machinima, right? Which is all about the gaming world, the video gaming world.
Right.
It's not a world I live in, but it's a world that my kids live in. So why is this such a big deal? Because this got written up big time in the press.
Well, we're very excited about our partnership with Machinima, and the reason being that I think Machinima, as one of the early MCNs and one of the largest
multi-channel networks,
yeah, the multi-channel networks, primarily on YouTube, is where they've developed, because they really represent the early programmers in the independent online video world, and certainly the world is very familiar with the wide breadth of creators on YouTube and the ad-supported model that they've developed, and the MCNs like Machinima have come in to build almost like a studio and network business around that. The exciting addition that we offer them through Vimeo is now, in addition to being able to monetize with advertising, we now let them charge for content. So just like a studio or network offline, where they may be having content be windowed for free consumption with advertising, they may also then sell that content through a VOD service. Vimeo now brings that same platform to them.
Well, but if it's free, but if it's free, why am I going to pay for it?
Well, the difference is just like in the offline video world before the internet, video is available for pay or for free depending on when or where it's made available. For instance, a film may come out in the theater, and obviously you have to pay to go see it at the theater. That film may then be available at some time later through a VOD service, or even for free with advertising. And really what we're seeing now is the whole point of Vimeo On Demand is we believe that the internet is going to play out much the same way. Whereas just as the offline traditional video world is a combination of free and paid business models for content, depending on how new it is or where it's available, we see the same thing on the web. And we're providing that paid platform to provide those paid windows.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. I mean, YouTube has, what, 1 billion unique viewers?
So they say.
A month. So give or take a few, right?
That's right.
Okay, what's to stop YouTube from saying, I'm going to eat Vimeo's lunch, and I'm going to launch the same type of platform?
Well, I think the key is that YouTube is very good at what they do. YouTube is a mass, global, free-to-consume, ad-supported platform. I liken it to broadcast television. And really, the first 40, 50 years of television, that was pretty much the only model. And you had the rise of ABC and CBS and NBC, and the world was happy. But then in the 70s and 80s, we saw something different, which was the premium cable revolution. And you have paid content that's a very different experience. It's different for the viewers. It's different for the creators. HBO and Showtime offer a very, very different product than does NBC or CBS. And that's the environment that Vimeo has always provided. And Vimeo has really thrived since its founding over 10 years ago, even alongside YouTube, because we're offering a very different environment.
But if YouTube provides that same kind of content for free, then again, I go back to why pay for it, right? Because YouTube could say, okay, I'm going to curate, Kerry, I'll be curating really premium content because I have 1 billion unique viewers a month.
Well, having a large audience does not necessarily make you great at curating premium content, so I'll say that. But in addition, to get to the specifics of your question, there is also the opportunity for ardent fans to want to pay for content first. And I think that for YouTube, one of the challenges will be the expectation is that YouTube will be free. I think people value YouTube because it's free. They like that it's free.
Right.
It's not a problem. It's a massive advantage because they have that scale. Whereas Vimeo is an environment where people expect and enjoy that it's free of advertising. And we think that therefore they're willing to pay, and we also think that therefore it's a better place for creators when they choose to charge for their content to show it off there. Whereas I think in the YouTube environment, it might actually be confusing to say, well, but YouTube's supposed to be free.
Right.
I don't want to pay for it. Whereas people realize with Vimeo that it's going to be free of advertising, it's going to be much more neatly presented, and therefore they'd be willing to pay.